Our next witness is Seth Goldman, who's the president of Honest Tea in Bethesda, Maryland. As a youngster, Mr. Goldman had newspaper routes and lemonade stands. He nearly pursued a prize-winning biotechnology idea before he co-founded the Honest Tea brand in his kitchen in 1998. Is that correct? He's a graduate of Harvard College and the Yale School of Management, and he's testifying on behalf of the American Beverage Association. Welcome, Mr. Goldman.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Usually when there's a discussion about high-growth businesses, the focus is on the internet or biotech. So I'm happy to be here to represent a part of the economy everyone understands. We make low-sugar organic beverages. And over the 14 years, our continuous double-digit growth has created 122 jobs in 22 states. These are jobs that create and support manufacturing across the United States and jobs that can't be shipped overseas. In 1998, I launched Honest Tea out of my kitchen. My co-founder and I brewed 5 thermoses of tea, and we got an empty Snapple bottle and stuck on a label and brought it to the local Whole Foods buying office. And to our great delight, surprise, and horror, the buyer said he was going to buy 15,000 bottles, so we had to go home and figure out how to make that much tea. We launched in the 17 Whole Foods stores in the Mid-Atlantic and gave away more samples than we sold, but by the end of that summer, we were the best-selling tea in those stores, and then we expanded from there to the rest of the Whole Foods chain, and then became the best-selling tea in the natural foods industry. And just last year, Coca-Cola purchased our company, which is still run out of Bethesda, Maryland. When we started, my co-founder and I raised money from basically the people who couldn't say no, ourselves, our parents, my sister, his roommates from college. And over the next 10 years, we raised $10 million in angel capital from equity. And so how do we manage to stay in business over that time while a lot of other beverage companies started and went under? Well, first, we offered something that was clearly different. While everyone else was selling a tea with a lot of sugar, we were offering something with just 1 to 2 teaspoons. And then in 1999, we became the first company to create an organic bottled tea. So once again, we had a point of difference in the marketplace. The other way we stayed in business is we were careful with our cash. Instead of paying for radio and TV ads, we developed alternative ways to generate attention. We did an experiment called Honest Cities. We set up in 12 cities a freestanding booth with bottles, and it said it's an honor system, $1 a bottle. We'll see how honest people are. And to our great delight, most of the country was in the high 90% honest, but it was also a great way to get media coverage, and we were on the Today Show and certainly raised a lot of awareness. The other benefit of operating on a tight budget is you make less expensive mistakes. We certainly made some doozies over our 14 years, but if we had had more money, we just would have spent more money trying to correct those mistakes rather than just recognizing when something wasn't working. Unlike most acquisitions, which involve relocations and layoffs, when Coca-Cola invested in Honest Tea, we created a structure where we continue to base in Bethesda, and our headcount has actually doubled since Coke invested 3 years ago. And we've been expanding jobs around the country. Last October, I cut the ribbon on a Coca-Cola-owned bottling facility that created 100 manufacturing jobs in Massachusetts. Next month, we're launching a new bottling line in California. When we took in Coke's initial investment, we were in 15,000 stores. Today, Honest Tea can be found in over 80,000 stores. And we just signed on another new chain this morning, so we're still growing. Unlike so many industries, the beverage business is one where outsourcing isn't an issue. There's no way to ship bottles through those internet cables, and the math doesn't favor manufacturing the product overseas and then shipping it across, into this market. And there's still no substitute for the role that skilled professionals, maybe a little aggressive, can play in protecting a beverage shelf. So how did the federal government help Honest Tea? The best thing I can say is that the government didn't get in the way of us launching our business. Of course, we had to make sure all our bottling plants and suppliers were licensed with the FDA and USDA. And we filed our stock offerings to accredited investors through the relevant entities and pay our taxes through ADP. But other than that, we were left to build our business. One way the government did support our growth is through the creation of the USDA organic standards. Having a differentiated product was key to Honest Tea's survival. And the USDA organic seal, which appears on all of our products, helps consumers seek out products grown without chemical pesticides or fertilizers. It's a great example of a government program that helps establish a quality standard without any mandates or large bureaucracy. My experience building Honest Tea represents all that is great about the American economic system. A group of passionate entrepreneurs and patient investors combining their dreams, their investment capital, and their energy to create something out of nothing, delivering jobs, strong investment returns, and healthier beverages along the way. In terms of supporting the development of more companies like ours, I would say the best policy is to let entrepreneurs and investors continue to take well-informed risks. By definition, the work we do is challenging. If it were easy or obvious, the big companies would have already done it. But at Honest Tea, we take two proverbs to heart. The Chinese proverbs. The first is, if we don't change the direction we are headed, we will end up where we are going. And I believe entrepreneurs are our nation's best chance to change and make an impact on the issues that confront our society. And if that's not easy work. And that's why we pay attention to the second proverb, which is on the wall of our office in Bethesda. Those who say it cannot be done should not interrupt the people doing it. Thank you very much.